the background title card, the little animations they have going on in the background, normally they're stars or love hearts. And for Harry, they are clearly meant to evoke sperm cell imagery. Like, look at that. Look at that. Tell me that isn't sperm cells. Stefan's actually my favorite guy. I think he's actually here for the right reasons. He puts a lot of efforts into his dates. And yeah, the trade-off is he will suck your toes after the date. I just have to say, Brighton's constant obsession with whether someone is circumcised or has their foreskin intact is really strange. It's really, really odd, and it feels very queer-coded.
I'm happy you have a foreskin, though. Dude, me too. Can you prove it? Can you prove it?
Alright, Netflix's most shameless cringe reality show, Perfect Match, is back for season 2, and I'm here today to talk you through the most notable cringe and weird moments that the first 6 episodes of this season give us. Now, this show is a show where basically a bunch of previous stars from other Netflix reality shows come into a mansion and they try and pair off to become the ultimate power couple, to become the perfect match. What do they win, you ask? They win a week-long vacation, a pretty minor prize in the scheme of life. So clearly, they are here for love, or they're here to get more famous. And I'm telling you, it's probably that second option. So this show is hosted by cringe lord himself, Nick Lachey.
Summer kicks off with the return of Perfect Match, and I'm inviting 22 new reality singles.
And I love how this season starts. If you're a fan of cringing with Nick Lachey, this season delivers. The opening intro, he comes out, he does his old, "Hey guys, welcome back to Perfect Match."
I'm Nick Lachey.
You know, he proceeds to strip down, show off his incredible rig, drop a few cringy one-liners where he says it's about to get interesting.
Something tells me it's about to get really interesting around here. And all in the name of love. Are you ready?
He falls back in a very epic shot into the water behind him. And I love that when he falls back in what's meant to be this super cool action hero moment, he actually like braces for impact, and you see in his face that he's genuinely scared for his life. The first character we meet in the house is Brighton. Now, he is a notable member of Squid Game The Challenge, a show that I don't think anyone actually watches. He introduces himself in the third person. For a second, I was like, who on earth is he talking about? I went, oh, it's him.
Brighton is an interesting character. He's someone who he wants to be himself at all times. Me being myself,
That's the level of self-absorption we are dealing with in Perfect Match Season 2. From there, we are introduced to Harry, or reintroduced to Harry. Now, Harry is one of the most famous people from Too Hot to Handle. They finally got him. And very famously, he actually broke up the previous winners of Perfect Match. So Dom and Georgia, who won Perfect Match Season 1, Georgia cheated on Dom with Harry.
We're still talking, we were together. Yeah, I'll say I was blindsided.
Meeting Harry, weirdly unexpected.
And now Harry is in Perfect Match Season 2. Harry has basically done a world tour of like unveiling his sexual proclivities. He went on Call Her Daddy and basically dropped a bunch of intimate secrets about a bunch of people he slept with from other Netflix reality shows. On top of that, he has a very successful OnlyFans. Like, his thing is being the ultimate fuckboy. And I absolutely love that when he's introduced, the background title card, the little animations they have going on in the background, normally they're stars or love hearts. And for Harry, they are clearly meant to evoke sperm cell imagery. Like, look at that. Look at that. Tell me that isn't sperm cells. We're introduced to the rest of the cast. Another notable figure is Izzy. This guy is off. This guy is strange. He gives me heebie-jeebie vibes. He just does not feel right. And he holds that line for the rest of the season. Oh, also, Dom is back. Now, Dom was the winner of Perfect Match. He became the ultimate power couple only to get cheated on, and now he's back in Perfect Match Season 2. So really a shining testament to the efficacy of this matchmaking process. So from there, Nick Lachey reemerges.
Guys, what's up?
What up? Nick Lachey walks in the crib and holy shit, those damn teeth, you can see them from a mile away.
He presents a challenge. It's a dice challenge where it picks a name and then picks a challenge. Now I'm just going to speed run the notable truths and the notable dares that come out of this game. First off, Stefan sucks toes. We find out he's obsessed with sucking toes.
Suck her toes, suck her toes.
Oh my God.
That was crazy. He put the whole thing in his mouth.
This is a major character arc for Stefan throughout the season. We see him constantly suck toes, talk about toes. This dude is down bad for toes. Stefan's actually my favorite guy. I think he's actually here for the right reasons. He puts a lot of efforts into his dates. And yeah, the trade-off is he will suck your toes after the date.
That was crazy.
Then we are treated to a montage of Izzy trying to court this woman, and it is absolutely painful. He flat out says to her, like, please don't take me as a creep. And I feel like any guy that has to say that to a woman, like, please don't find me creepy, you're coming off creepy. Like, you shouldn't have had to say that. Why did you feel the need to say that? On top of that, he goes to take a drink and be all suave in front of her and misses his mouth. Super embarrassing. Izzy completely flops this season, and I am so glad because he was just so uncomfortable to watch. Now, in the first episode, Brighton, the Squid Game guy, pairs off with Dominique, and boy, are they toxic. Like, in terms of Netflix reality shows, we know that all these people are typically toxic, but their fights are just unbelievable. It's just two people that will not hear each other at all. They are always looking for a fight. One is always defensive. One is always super combative.
Stop, like, talking down in my face.
I'm not, but I'm saying, did we have more than one plan? Yes or no? That's all I'm asking. Did we have more than one plan?
It's getting down to me.
And it kind of oscillates between which one is going to be the toxic one at any given moment, but they just cannot go 5 minutes without arguing. It's really interesting because when their toxicity is presented, it sounds like a joke. They're just arguing about whether yoga is an actual sport or not. And at first you're sitting there going, oh, they're just having a jokey fight. But then it cuts to them, you see their faces, and they are just like furious at each other. Like, he is so angry that she does not agree with him. It's absolutely wild.
I don't see bodybuilders doing anything but eating chicken and fucking rice.
And working out.
And oiling themselves up.
Nobody on the face of this earth, Pilates is a workout.
The first episode ends, and basically the big stinger is that Dom has entered the house. That's right, the winner of Perfect Match Season 1 is back, and he's here to fuck shit up. Harry makes eye contact with him, and then the episode cuts off. Now, episode 2, most notable things. Dom goes on a date with this woman. They look like they're going to be the next power couple, but unfortunately they bust up very, very quickly after this, so I'm not going to get into too much detail about this pairing. Next notable cringy thing I want to point out is there is this constant foreskin joke going around. I don't know how this started. I think Brighton started it. He is absolutely obsessed with whether people have foreskins or not. He brings this up multiple times, and look, there is nothing wrong with being gay.
You got a foreskin? Of course I do. I like the odd man out right now? Yes. Really? No. There's no way. You're not right now. I'm foreskin here? Oh my God. Get this shit off right now.
I just have to say, Brighton's constant obsession with whether someone is circumcised or has their foreskin intact is really strange. It's really, really odd, and it feels very queer-coded.
I'm happy you have a foreskin, though. Dude, me too. Can you prove it? Can you prove it? Oh, I could. Yeah, I definitely could. Prove it. I definitely could. Prove it.
He's someone that constantly comes out with how straight and how alpha and how macho they are. And for some reason, he just has this hyperfixation. Every time a new person comes into the house, he goes, oh, we have another foreskin in the house. It's so strange. I don't know what the joke here is. I don't know if he was bullied when he was younger about whether he was circumcised or not, but it's so bizarre. It's just such a strange thing for him to be hung up on that I feel like it has to be soaked in some deep-seated childhood trauma or something. Next, we have Nick Lachey showing up in a fedora. This doesn't go anywhere. I just like ragging on Nick Lachey, and he looks hilarious in his fedora.
Guys,
Hi, Nick.
come on in. I like the hat. Nice vibe. Trying something new today.
Honestly, episode 3 was a bit of a bust. A few couples broke up, a few couples stayed together. One moment I absolutely love is Harry drops this woman he's been seeing very briefly, and he says to her at one point, hey, I think I'm going to see other people. I think you should see other people too. And she goes, are you serious? Like, I thought we were getting along really well. And he literally hits her with the line of, well, you know, sometimes, like, if you love something, you have to set it free.
Gonna leave and you find this funny.
If you love someone, let him go.
I'm not fucking in love with you, Harry.
I absolutely love the audacity of Harry to misrepresent and misuse this quote in this context. Like, he just wants to get his dick wet with other girls, but he's going to say to her, like, oh yeah, you know, if you love something, you got to let it go. Like, insane behavior from Harry. Notably, Harry is then paired with Jessica from the most recent season of Love is Blind. This is just an insane pairing. This is an absolutely insane, unhinged pairing, and I love it because they're both going to steer into their worst tendencies when it comes to dating. Harry is going to lean on her for a sort of motherly type of vibe, and she's clearly going to coddle him and support him in that way as well. And we see this play out. Anytime she confronts Harry about anything, Harry just turns on the waterworks. He goes on for full-on 10-year-old kid being told off at school. Like, he starts sulking and crying. There's literally a shot where he puts his jacket over his head. He's like, I don't want to talk about it. Please, leave me alone. I don't want to talk. So in terms of that like mother-son dynamic that was clearly going to come out, it literally comes out straight away. Just quickly, while we're on the topic of Harry, his argument style is insane. Basically, he doesn't yell, he doesn't get annoyed, which is really admirable. You can tell he's been to therapy and been told how he needs to handle himself, but the issue is he gets really manipulative and sly. He'll start being like, oh, I can't believe you've done this. Oh, this is just so hurtful. I just can't be here right now. It's almost toxic in the other direction. Instead of the typical macho, yelly, screamy, shouty brashness, instead what he's done is become so fragile and so outwardly sad that anytime any woman comes to him with pretty fair complaints, he basically just goes, oh, I can't believe you do this to me, and manipulates them until they are consoling him. It's a very icky thing to do.
This is how I feel right now. It's exactly why I didn't make that decision.
You don't need to be sassy. We can talk about it. Like, I haven't made a decision, but you're making me.
Okay.
But how you're talking is making me go, okay,
I
this
just
is how you
feel
deal
like you
with
could
conflict.
have. No, I just feel like you could have come and spoken to me. Like, it's been
Okay,
really
at least, but I'm
difficult for
speaking
me.
to you now. We're talking right now.
And it also reminds me of those memes where like toxic guy learns therapy speak.
Cheating on you is self-care for me. How many times am I gonna have to repeat myself before you actually start listening to me? I'm holding space for open and honest discussion. Come on in.
He knows how to navigate things and twist things in a way that sounds healthy and emotionally smart, when really what he's doing is just turning on the waterworks to get his way and then fuck a bunch of other women. It's absolutely insane to watch, and genuinely I am dying to see a psychologist break down the way Harry manipulates and twists people in this show. Now the next interesting challenge is truth bombs. Basically, I'm just going to go through the most interesting secrets we find out about people. We find out Jessica in her past has got engaged to someone just for their money, and we find out that the guy she's with feels really insecure because he has a bad credit score. Next, and this makes me look bad because he's still my favorite, Stefan, we find out he has a cage for women. I absolutely love his explanation here because they go, why did you have a cage for women? What was the context? What was going on? And he basically says, nah, I had a cage for my dogs, and then like sometimes women go in it.
Who used to own a cage to put women in? It's in fact Devin.
Hold on. What the hell?
I had a dog, and women would get in it. It wasn't like I bought it for the women.
Oh my god, the fact that he has a cage in his house.
Past tense.
That's as far as an explanation he gives us. Another moment I absolutely love in this game is Tallulah is forced to reveal a really sad truth about herself, the fact that she was with someone for 2.5 years and then she found out they were married. Straight after revealing that heartbreaking story to the group, something she never wanted to share with them, someone comes up and basically docks a point for her just out of spite. Absolutely hilarious. Also, we find out two very notable truths about Harry, the insane fuckboy. We find out that he made $100,000 in 24 hours when he first launched his OnlyFans. We also find out that some super fan reached out to him and offered him $40,000 to fuck his wife. And I think he did it. Next, we have a Nick Lachey jump scare. So basically in the room where they pick the new contestants to come into the house, to intrude the house, Nick Lachey pops out, does a jump scare, and then has the goal to go, very, very sneak.
Oh. What's up, guys? Did I scare you?
Yeah, Nick, you just be popping over.
Very, very steep. Popping over. Very, very steep. Popping over. Very, very steep.
So strange. I think it's meant to be a Borat impression. I would just love to picture him rewatching this with his wife and being like, oh my God, please look away. And she's like, what? What, sweetie? And he's like, please. I did something cringe. I thought it would be funny. It wasn't funny. Please just look away. And then he has to sit there on the couch with Vanessa and watch as the admiration that she once had for him leave her eyes as he says,
Very, very steep.
it's just so bad. It's just so fucking bad, but I love it. Okay, next we're introduced to Justin. It's this like objectively like good looking dude, and he just yaps his way out of being a hot guy. Like he just talks in his intro and just goes and goes and goes about, I once ordered ramen to talk to this girl and then I didn't even have the courage to talk to this girl. He just goes on and on and on.
We got a little bit of a, an anxious undertone to me. I used to have this intense fear of rejection. I feel like no one talks about that. Like guys, of course, like we're all scared to go up and talk to women.
Digs himself a hole of like pick me boy cringe. It's absolutely insane to watch. It's just giving such desperate pick me energy. Like, dude, stop talking, please. Next, we have Harry being manipulative. So basically Jessica confronts him and says, hey, I've actually heard that you lied to me. You said that you weren't paired up with anyone seriously and that you were just friends with them. And now I'm hearing from other girls that you were paired up with them. This is a totally fair enough thing for Jessica to bring up to Harry, right? Basically has deceived her and downplayed the fact that he was in a relationship or a perfect match pairing, you know, when he met Jessica, and now Jessica and him are dating. So it feels like that he sort of cheated. He sort of fucked someone over. Totally fair enough for her to bring up. He proceeds to start crying and being like, I just don't get how people could be so mean. I don't get how people could say these things about me, and I can't believe you would believe them and then quote them back to me. It's like, dude, you did do that. And on top of that, all she wants is some reassurance that you're not going to fuck her over as well. But instead, he just sits there and cries and sulks and has to leave the room. He gets hot in the face. And yeah, then he does the whole thing where he's hiding in the corner of the room for when she gets back. An insanely manipulative move, might I just add. Like, if she walked in and he happened to be crying, sure. But he knew what he was doing. He was staging that. So when she walked in, she couldn't hold him accountable for anything. And then instead had to kind of console him. And on top of that, she apologizes to him. I couldn't believe that Harry got away with this. And I actually thought Jessica was smarter. I thought she would absolutely demolish him. Harry just cries until he wins the battle, an absolutely insane accomplishment. Next, we have an absolutely diabolical move from Harry. So basically, this new girl, Holly, is introduced. She was also from Too Hot to Handle. So Holly comes into the picture. And while she's being introduced as a character, Harry is asked what he thinks of Holly. And he tells the entire world, oh yeah, Stefan cream pied her. Just an absolutely insane detail to reveal about someone without asking first. Like, what are you doing?
There's a little bit of history between me and Holly. She's such a sweet girl. She came on my podcast one time. We got dinner after it. We smashed. And then that was the last time I heard from her. And I know Steven cream pied her.
On top of that, I think Harry reveals he also slept with her after she was on his podcast. Harry is an absolute menace this season. And here's the thing with Harry. When he was first introduced, I actually kind of liked him. I thought he was authentic about who he was, and I went, you know what? Girls are just going to take it or leave it. But by the end of the season, after seeing how much he does this sad boy manipulation and then reveals all these intimate details about other girls, I think it's really off. So basically, season 6 ends with this Mika, Kaz, and Holly love triangle. So basically, Mika and Kaz are a couple, and Holly is an intruder, and Kaz is forced to go on a date with this intruder, Holly. Now, throughout the show, people are forced to go on dates while they are in couples, right? While they're in pairings. And I absolutely love it, because every time the guys have to do this, they talk to the camera and they're like, there's no way I'm going to cheat on my partner. There's no way I'm going to fall for this new person. I am absolutely faithful. But what I love is then they'll meet this intruder, and basically the moment they do, they go, oh yeah, I don't have a girlfriend at home. Like, you and I can date. Please, can we date? Can we date? Now, to be fair to Kaz, he doesn't take it that far. However, you can tell that he's sort of keeping his options open. He clearly does have chemistry with Holly, and he's kind of vague about the person he has waiting for him at home. Basically, Kaz gets back from the date. He gets back to his homegirl, Mika, and says, oh yeah, it was fine. We just had some banter. It wasn't that big of a deal. I'm still faithful to you. Mika then hears from Holly and other girls that apparently they had insane chemistry off the charts. She goes and confronts Kaz and essentially accuses him of like emotional cheating. He says that didn't happen. She says, well, I feel like it did. And then basically loses the argument at that point. She kind of digs herself a hole there, because Kaz goes, well, I don't care how you feel. I care about what actually happened. He's really offended that she says he's a liar. And now he's presumably off to pursue Holly. So the first batch of episodes ends here. And in my opinion, the most promising couples are Stefan and Alla. Now, I didn't really talk about these two because honestly, there isn't that much drama between them. They actually just seem like a pretty healthy couple, and Stefan genuinely seems really into her. The other most promising couple, in my opinion, unfortunately, as toxic as they are Harry and Jessica. Framed as the main couple of this season, they are doing the most, and despite all their toxicity and all their weird toxic boy mum vibes, in my opinion, I think they're going to go pretty far. Another couple I forgot to talk about were Justin and Alice. They're a really promising couple too. They seem really compatible. I like that they have a similar sense of humor. This was the guy earlier that I said was a massive pick-me, but it seems like he comes out of his shell really well with Alice, so hopefully her wandering eye thing is a misdirect in the promo and she doesn't actually start to cheat on him, because I am rooting for these two. All the other couples are constantly busting up, constantly fighting, constantly switching partners. There aren't really any others of note for me so far. Alright, so if the show Perfect Match wasn't enough for you, there's actually a mobile game on the Netflix app, like inside the Netflix app. You can play an interactive experience. You create your own character and put them through the Perfect Match experience, complete with an uncanny valley animated version of Nick Lachey guiding you through this experience. Ugh. So our mission while playing this game was to create the most promiscuous, problematic person we possibly could for the Perfect Match experience. We named them Lashussi, inspired by Nick Lachey. And basically any dialogue prompt we got, any multiple choice answer we got, we chose the naughtiest and the most controversial and the most boundary pushing, just to really get the drama flowing.
Should I call her out?
Call her out for sure.
I'm gonna play it safe this time. Truth. Oh, what are we gonna ask?
Ask the most diabolical question.
Have you ever had an unrequited
How many days before sex? Why would we ask anything else? Are we serious?
go anytime? Yeah, we are. Good job. We picked the good one.
Well, if he asks us back, we say no dates. We say sex on the way to the date.
He's totally flirt
absolutely
back.
flirt back.
Are you kidding?
Hurry up.
Oh, wait.
Why can't we choose him?
All right, let's just see your turn in the hot seat. I'm ready.
I'm ready. She's
Also
always ready. She's always ready.
Describe the best sex you've ever had.
Holy shit. Shut up, Zara. Buzzkill. What do we say?
I don't mind sharing the gritty
Yeah,
deets.
that's the naughtiest answer.
So while I'm recapping the Perfect Match series on this channel, I'll also be recapping the story and journey of Lushusi.
Hey!
No!
Nicholas Shane, now it feels real.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe. Please let me know what you'd like me to talk about next. And if you want me to talk about more Perfect Match, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching and have a lovely day.